Hey, good morning. I know it is early. It is 7:34 on the West Coast, but I'm still kind of like antsy about this topic. And so I thought I would just record this for you. This morning, this question about why aren't there more referrals if the product is so good, right? So here's this idea. I'm sure you've heard it. The product sells itself. And so here's the idea. And I think there's a little bit of truth to it that if the product is so good, customers will naturally want to refer the product. So if that's true, then why do some network marketers get so many referrals and people wanting to host events? And why do other network marketers not when the product is the same? So yesterday I was on a coaching call with one of my longtime clients, and what they do is they sell. They're actually a coaching company, and I help her with her sales processes. And so we'd been listening to one of our salesperson's calls, and we had him come on, and I gave him some feedback, gave him an intro that would work better. And we were talking, I don't know how this came up, but he said something about, oh yeah, we sold Cutco door to door. And I said, stop. Right now, I did not sell Cutco door to door. They're like, yeah, you did. You went into people's homes. And I said, oh, no, 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 no. It was not door to door. It was 100% referrals. And I got and they were just laughing at, I visibly got hot and bothered. And I looked at them both because the conversation before that was kind of how, the calls are not great, right? This particular salesperson was really humble. I was like, I listened back to it. It was not good. But I didn't really know how to make it better. So we fixed that. And I was like, I want you to think about this for a minute. How good did our sales process have to be to operate 100% referrals? How good did our process have to be? And I was like, it wasn't knocking on doors and seeing who would come in. We literally would walk through the presentation and then we would exchange a vegetable peeler for 15 to 25 names and phone numbers. And so my question to that salesperson was, how good did our sales presentation need to be? I think there's this idea, and this was part of the conversation that we had, that the end justifies the means, right? If you have crappy interactions or just say whatever, and it ends up leading to a sale, it's fine, right? We got to a sale, we found the right person. It didn't matter what we say. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Except it is really not fine. It is really not fine. If we have a sales process that ends up getting a sale, but it's not customer centric, doesn't make people feel good, right? So this Cutco presentation, in order for it to be able to generate that much referrals, where the entire company's business ran on referrals, it had to be kind, enjoyable, a bit entertaining, low pressure, and educational closes. Like, it had to be something that people enjoyed because they weren't referring the product, they were referring the process. And so this is why, even though people have the same product line, some people get referrals and some people don't. The ends does not, they don't justify the means, because here's what happens. So let's say we just massive action, right? Go for no, massive action, you'll run into someone eventually. Well, in the meantime, what happens to the reputation of you, your business, your company, right? As we are interacting in a way that doesn't establish trust, compassion, stability, and hope. One of my clients, Bailey, she there was a contest in her company 2019. She was top 5 in her $1 billion company in new customers. She did it 100% through referrals. Everybody else was using ads online. And it's because her in-person sales presentation was so fun. It was so fun that people wanted to do it again for their people. And so this is why it is so important to have a solid sales process or outline. Now, I'm not talking about this like car salesman, like here's how they are, because those people do not follow a process. They are just being pushy. The end justifies the means. And what I'm going to assert to you today is that the means matter just as much as the end because of this beautiful thing called referral generation. Whether you get a sale or not, I told this story the other day when I was field training someone young in my career, and I went on this presentation. I got a no sale, but I got 5 referrals. How do you have a no sale but still get 5 referrals? I want you to think about that for a second. How do you get a no sale, which is nothing? No sale, no money, no, right? For you guys, recurring revenue, Cutco is a one-time sale product, right? You have a no sale, but you get 5 referrals. How does that happen? It happens because at the end, we could confidently look them in the eye and ask this question: how did you like the presentation? Whether or not they bought. Every single person said, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it, which means if they really enjoyed it, they are likely to refer the connection, the presentation, whether or not they bought. People that don't buy, I found, refer at a higher rate than people that do because they realize it's a low pressure thing. They got out of it, right? So they either bought and they're stoked about it, or they didn't buy and they're like, yeah, the presentation was great and you didn't put pressure on me to buy. So yeah, I'll hook you up with some referrals for that peeler, of course. And it's a win-win scenario for everybody, and it's fine. So I want you to ask yourself this question, and I'm asking myself this question as well. Maybe I need to do an audit personally. If you were to ask yourself, how'd you like the presentation? What would you say? Maybe that's too like in your face for a Facebook Live. But how would you answer that? And if you would answer that meh, maybe we need to fix that in your business, or you're going to have a really, really big problem. There's a stat that 84% of people are willing to refer, 11% of salespeople ask. And so then when I tell people are like, okay, I need to go back and ask for referrals. And I think that's right. But if your sales process is broken, it's going to fall upon deaf ears, right? A lot of people will say, oh, well, I need to wait until they use the product for a long time before they refer the product. They're not referring the product. They're referring the sales process. They're referring the sales process. And so sales processes, they must be customer centered, not us centered. If they're product centered, it's not going to work. Yesterday, I was working with one of my company owner clients on just videos. And she showed me this example of this company that sells like a supplement. And the video was about this lady who was trying to be a juicer and how many groceries and like the whole thing about juicing. And then their offer was, maybe just try this instead of doing all of this drama around juicing. And I laughed so hard. First, it was funny, but also because it was so customer centric. And I found myself wanting to send that web page to a few people because I could see them in that customer centered focus. And so word of mouth converts faster at higher rates with higher average orders. And here's the really, really good news is that once you end up in this referral loop, you get more referrals. So if I chat with someone I know and I ask them for referrals, it's a little bit harder than if I am referred to someone and I say, how'd you like the presentation? Good. Okay, great. Just like so-and-so referred you, here is how I operate, right? If they decide not to learn about building the business, we still need to ask if they're willing to refer, because there's a whole opportunity there. Just because someone doesn't want to work doesn't mean they're not willing to refer. And then you end up in this loop where people who refer are more likely to refer because that's how they heard about it. And so it's completely normalized. And so you end up, I don't know, it's like this. Do you guys remember the Price is Right reel? And the first like thing going down, like it would be slow, and then you push it again and go a little faster and faster and faster. And then finally do this and it would just be so fast. That's how referral generation works. We got to get the flywheel started in order to do that. But it's not just about, hey, do you want to give me referrals? Hey, do you want to give me referrals? Hey, do you want to give me referrals? It's about first fixing the sales process. So at the end, if they decide not to do a recruiting conversation with you, you can ethically say and confidently say, how'd you like the presentation? And know it's going to be a yes. Now, if this resonated with you, yesterday we started the Customer First Sales Mastermind, and it was really cool. At the beginning, I said, what are you guys hoping to gain out of it? And pretty much every single person on the call said, I need the words to say so I can feel more confident approaching people. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, yeah, words to say for my sales process, for my referral process, that would be really, really helpful. And that can change everything for my business. What I want you guys to do is shoot me or Karen a message. I guess maybe say the word words. You can drop a comment, use the word words. And what we'll do is we'll connect with you. We just had the kickoff call yesterday. So week 1 actually doesn't start until next Wednesday. So we still squeeze you in and you would be able to have your goal set up, your inviting, sales conversation, recruiting conversation, referral, retention, all of those outlines done by the end of January, which would be really, really awesome because I'm sure you're already starting to think about big goals for next year, lots of excitement, but then it becomes, a lot, right? You start the new year, but you don't have your words and you don't have your processes and you're not getting referrals and that's a big problem. And then we give up by the end of the time. But if we can build at least half of it before Christmas, you'd be off to a great start for 2023. So if that is something that you are, that you'd like to learn more about, then just write the word words or send me or Karen a message and we'll make sure to get you the details to see if it's a good fit for you. I think that's it for my rant today. It was exhausting. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, let me know in the comments something that you found helpful and I'll talk to you guys soon.